Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from day 2 at the Singapore Fintech Festival. And joining me for this segment, we have Bob McCooey. He's the head of Asia Pacific at Nasdaq, and we're going to take a look at Nasdaq's role as a technology and capital markets leader in the Asia Pacific region. Bob, it's finally great to have you with me.
Nice to be here.
On Trade Talks, and the presence at this conference, over 70,000 people from 130 countries, and Nasdaq, our presence is front and center.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I was just in the main stage session with our CTO, Brad Peterson. I got a shout out from Brad during his talk, which was awesome. And there were 10,000 people in there. So it was really fantastic. And I always think, Jill, that when I go around to different areas, that I kind of go through the same theme, which is the fact that though my colleagues on the West Coast don't feel this way, that entrepreneurship is something that is global. It's not owned by Silicon Valley. It's known not only in Boston and Austin and places in the US, but you can find it here in Singapore. We find it all over China. We find it in Sydney and all over Asia. And so to find them all in one place here at the FinTech Festival is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I think now is a great time to be involved with the FinTech Festival. I mean, you look around and you see, our partners, our clients, and it's all happening within one space. And you're absolutely right. On the West Coast, we think of, Silicon Valley, the center of FinTech, but I would argue Singapore is where it's all happening locally in Asia.
Well, it certainly has come together this week with everyone. You can see regulators. I can see the regulator zone right there. You can see the exchanges are here. You see payments companies. You see straight technology companies. You see people from all over the globe who recognize the fact that this is where it's happening this week, and we're so excited to be here and to see so many new technologies, because Nasdaq, we're about to be 50 years old in a couple of years, so actually a year from March, but the reality is that we're still so focused on small, emerging growth companies, and we love to meet them and hear about new technologies when they're just starting. And so to be able to walk the halls, and boy, there's a lot of companies here to walk and see over the next couple of days.
Let's talk about some of the major themes that we're seeing at the conference. And with my coverage, this is the first time I'm hearing a lot about ESG, finance, and technology, and it's fascinating to cover where they're looking at blockchain technology and how you can go across any industry, not just crypto, and find ways to incorporate the sustainability theme.
No doubt, and ESG is obviously something that we've recognized, and Nasdaq has moved from Europe, where it really started as the home and the beginning of the discussion on ESG, to coming to the US, and now everyone has embraced it and understood how important that's going to be. It's going to be important in their business, and then incorporating things, as you indicated, in blockchain into ESG, using different types of technology, understanding what will be the ways that companies will, some of these companies will fit into ESG and the way we understand blockchain
the last
technology.
3 themes: future finance, global market opportunities, and different technologies. They kind of all fit into the same basket there. What are some of the themes that you're hearing in terms of what we're looking at in 2020 and beyond?
Well, I think the one that it seems like it's overarching seems to be payments. Is what's going to continue to disrupt payments. Certainly, we've seen probably version 1s or maybe version 1 and 2, but what's 3.0 look like? Here, obviously in Asia, you already have Alipay and Tencent Pay and some of the major payment players. You see companies that are embracing it, like Luckin Coffee, who was using technology to pay rather than have cashiers, and which is a huge sea change for what we know in the U.S. You go into a coffee store and there's cashiers, you have to pay and pick up your coffee. There, it's a barista that's making your coffee, and you're just picking it up scanning a QR code. So I think payments is number one, and then I think things that you indicated, ESG, surveillance, the way that the regulatory environment, and the know your customer rules, those kind of things that are going to come into banking are going to be really, really important in what these companies are doing in order to disrupt those businesses.
All right, to wrap up here, technology, how is Nasdaq a leader in Asia and global markets all over?
Well, as you know, one of the key businesses that we have at Nasdaq is a market technology business. 120 exchanges using our technology here in Singapore. Obviously, SGX is a client of ours, but all over the entire region, whether it's IDX Indonesia Stock Exchange, whether it's our partnership with Hong Kong Stock Exchange, ASX, the 700 people that we have that work for Nasdaq in India. So we are an amazing presence here in Asia to begin with, and then our offices throughout the entire region. Beyond that, we're always looking, and it's great when Brad says things like he feels like a kid in a candy store, because we get to bring him in to see these amazing technologies. And so that's whether that's going to see a financial sponsor here or back in the US, and talk about their portfolio companies, whether it's just dragging him to meet a new technology. And the thing that his job is to look at the future, look at not what things look like today, but the way things are going to be 5-10 years from now. Because Nasdaq, though we're known for our listings business, which I'm so proud to work in, the listings business is kind of the bow of the ship. And everything that's happening behind to drive value for our shareholders is really about technology and how we're going to move into data, indexes, our market technology business, which included our RegTech business, which is growing so rapidly with smarts. And so we really think that that's super important, and we're so excited to partner with people like Brad and our technology team in order to really help each other, because that's the way it's really going to be a successful way for us to grow.
And then we'll take these companies public.
Exactly right.
Thank you so much, Bob, for joining me at the
Nice to be
FinTech
with you,
Festival.
Jill.
And thanks for joining me throughout the day on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.